Hello, everyone. We are here again tonight and getting started. Hoping to see everyone back again tonight. Um, so happy to be able to share love and connect with everyone. Um, I don't know, honestly, I've never felt so blessed in my life as I do right now. I have a lot of, of change, a lot of beauty I wish to create in my life, but it's coming, like it's happening now. And I'm so grateful to connect with everyone. And I know that I speak for both of us. Um, we're just so blessed to connect with you. We're trying to share our personal experience, our personal story, and trying to get comfortable enough in ourselves to be able to really come out and share on a personal level. Um, I'm sure you can understand that that's not always easy to do. Um, so I hope you guys can hear me okay. If you could acknowledge that you can hear okay, that would be helpful. I'm going to be, I should get the, and this picks up a lot better, I think. So um, I hope you can hear okay. Hi, Jonathan. Thank you for joining. Valerie's right here by my side. She'll be on camera shortly. Um, very excited. I think we're both very excited about our life and just thrilled to have gained just such insight, I think, from our life experience and each other. Am I still breaking up? Can you hear me now? Usually it's better when I'm on the headset, so please let me know you can hear me okay. Um, Hi, Jeremy. Thanks for joining. Um, had some technical difficulties getting started this evening, and it's seems to be ongoing, but fighting through it. Um, Working on a couple issues, but is the sound okay? The sound is good. All right, so here we go. Um, Love is what we come to share with you. We're here to share our experience and our understanding of what love is and what we've come to know as love. And I think that is the greatest gift we can give anyone. Truly, the greatest gift we can give anyone is to give them our love. It's the greatest gift we can give ourselves. To share love with each other and connect and just accept each other and be respectful. That is that is the greatest achievement, you know. And if we all, as a collective humanity in its entirety, could just accept that, accept each other, it would be beautiful. And I understand the complex challenges that we perceive, truly just perceive, but I understand it's not always that simple. I understand that um, we all see things a little differently, and it makes it challenging. The Tower of Babel makes so much sense now because we've all been given our own unique language. I'm honestly, let me know what you think, but I have an idea because I grew up, I mean, I've shared this enough. I grew up in a Baptist church, and my family was all, every Sunday at the church, and I come from a family that was involved in it. So I uh I have that background, and I've considered It is. Love is the answer. It really is. And I feel like the religion is what confuses us at times. You know, the religion's true, but you've got to have the right understanding of it, you know? And it can seem untrue. I mean, it's all just perspectives of it, and you can find the truth in anything, or you can find the falsehood. It's a choice in every moment, and it's just about acceptance. Catholic, man, I feel for you. I mean, not it's tough, you know? We all have this programming that we receive, and it's limited. We're each given a different language, you know? That's the confusion in the Tower of Babel. Anyways, I don't wanna get too far off, but this might be like a preview of something I'd like to know if you find this type of conversation interesting because, um, I feel I have been blessed with a unique understanding of the Bible that makes sense to a lot of people, that you might find acceptable. I was raised a hellion. Um, that's great, man. I love these live videos. They're fabulous. The connection we get to make. I mean, how often this is perfect. This is perfect. It's always been perfect, and it just we recognize the perfection more and more every moment. So grateful for you being here, Jeremy. So grateful for you, Jonathan. It's truly a blessing to have your presence here, and I I this really am. We are blessed. We are blessed to all be able to come together the way we do. It's a blessing. Hey, I'm not judging you, Jeremy. What's good for you is good for you. It has nothing to do with me. You know I almost wanna say I never imagined being at a point where I could be so comfortable just communicating and being myself. But then I'd be lying, because, man, I've always wanted to do what I'm doing right now, and to even have one person on here is a blessing. Like, that's how I find, I guess, my passion. That's how I find my acceptance. I don't know, like, it doesn't matter. It's just being able to speak my truth and accept it myself and to do it openly regardless and to learn to do it regardless of what anyone else thinks. It's beautiful. It's humbling and strengthening at the same time. It's awesome. You and I go beyond the words and ink to see and hear with the heart. Yes, we do. We all do, and it's so beautiful. Radio show, talk show, do it now. This is it. This is it, brother. We're doing it. This is what I've always wanted to do, and honestly, just thought of Tom, how blessed we were to connect with Tom, and to connect with Tom. Like Tom Graham, I knew him just a short time, but he was a great friend, a true friend, and a connection divinely orchestrated. The power of love put us together. Hi, Helen. Thank you for joining us. Um, Man, we were truly blessed to have that connection, and I'm so glad Tom was a good friend, and so glad we connected with him. No, you need guest appearances. Hey, I'm down with guest appearances, and we can actually bring people on. So if that's something um, you'd like to do, we'd be happy to do that. Um, I need to get the floor turned over to Valerie. Are you doing okay? You need a little more time? I figured, but okay. I just wanted to kind of start moving in that direction because um, you hear me talk enough, and I've got some that I want to share, um, but I find so much light in this beautiful divine feminine next to me, and um, I feel blessed to have so much presence with the light. You know, seeing the light in each other is is beautiful. It's what we're here to do. I want to be the goofy animal expert and bring deadly animals to the show. Hey, sounds good. If you've got them there, if you've got access to them, and you're, we assume no liability. But if you're ready to do something, uh, sounds good to me. I don't know if anybody heard earlier. We did a reading from the Four Agreements, and it was. Do we need some music? Let me ask you. We were having music issues a little bit ago, and I've got music in my ear, but um, if you feel like we need music, let me know because it's kind of quiet. Do you need music? Let me. The speaker quit working, so let me try this here. We'll run it off my phone. All right. So you're gonna have to confirm that you can still hear us, okay? I hope the sound's still good. Um, I hope you got a chance to listen to the Out of the Four Agreements. This is by Don Miguel Ruiz. Um, you know, I really, honestly, I'm here to share love, and this guy, Don Miguel Ruiz, is giving his love, and that's what this book does. It shares love, and this is a little loud for me, so I'm gonna turn this down. All right. So the four agreements, and I'm just going to read the four agreements to you, just a brief summary of what they are, because this book. Valerie says this is, and it is for me too. I mean, she said this was the beginning of her awakening, the beginning of her, you know, enlightenment. I guess was this book, and it was a huge stepping stone. I don't know if it was the beginning for me, but it was a huge stepping stone. Like this book was like jumping across a huge river, or I mean, it advanced me. I mean, it it's the basis of a lot of my understanding. My recent just I don't know. Our understanding expands, and I'm highly recommending this book. And if I'm giving this much recommendation to it, you should consider it. Um, I don't know what's good for you. It's Don Miguel Ruiz. He's the author. If you look on my page, I've read from this book, and if you're interested, tag me. I can give you more information or email me. I mean, whatever. Just reach out. However, Facebook, whatever. Um, I've got the Mastery of Love, and I've read. I mean, I read out of these. Like I read earlier today, the introduction, and I forgot the introduction to this book. It was just wow. Like I didn't remember reading it. I truly didn't remember it, and I was like, "Wow!" It's a book you could read to a child, um, and yet you can gain so much understanding from it. Um, I don't like. I just believe that this guy is sharing love, and if you buy a copy of his book, that's sharing love with him. That would be awesome if you could find that book somewhere and get you a copy. If you'd like a copy, I could help you get one. Uh, it really helps knowing that you're accepted, that goes for all of us. And what's that?
I said I'm warming up for a second.
No, you're fine.
Breathing.
You're fine.
Okay.
I am. I'm so grateful for you, Valerie, and I'm so glad that you're here. And um, it's a big step for her to be sharing with you, and it's a big step for me. But I've been doing this a little bit longer, and I'm more comfortable. But it's so cool to see you on here and share, and I'm glad you're here. um, I wanted to mention the truth in the moment. I've talked a lot about. Hi, Amanda. Um, Acceptance is the key to love. At least from my understanding at this point, accepting the moment, accepting each other, just acceptance. If we could remember acceptance throughout our ever changing moment, we would advance greatly in ourselves. And the outer world's a reflection of our inner world. I feel like we should be open to hearing others, to accepting the truth of others, because truth changes. Our truth changes. I think truth does change. Um, we evolve, and what's true in one moment is not true in a different moment. There are circumstances that dictate what is true, and you might say that you can't fly, but then you might say, well, you can fly, but under these certain circumstances, only in an airplane, or there's just different stipulations we put on things, and we don't always communicate the full story. There's a lot of details that we have to transfer between each of us to understand the full picture. Rushing to judgment and jumping to conclusions about another's experience it's just well, it's unacceptable. I mean, and that's for me. It's something I personally work on, and I'm recommending it. I'm recommending you consider it for your own programming. But you input what you want to input. I'm not here to uh, push my reality onto you. I'm just here to share my experience with you. I can't fly, but I can fall with style. So, perception's a lot of our experience. Um, we all have a unique perception, and it creates our experience. Oh, and I read from what was the other book I read from? Ask and It Is Given. I'm gonna change the song. It's distracting me. Uh, Hi, Amber. Um, so I read from Ask and It Is Given today, and I think it was chapter maybe 13. Anyways, wow, that chapter was great. Um, it was really good, and I realized that it was so true, and it was my rough memory just on the off the cuff is that it was about letting our feelings be our guide, I think, and that um, our it as in it guides us. Um, it guides us as to whether we are aligning with that which we desire, or if we are aligning with the lack of which we desire. Because when we feel good, we're in alignment with what we desire to create. And when we feel bad, we're in alignment with the lack of what we wish to create. And that doesn't mean that we're not creating what we wish to create. It just means that um, we feel further away from that, and it just kind of guides us in. Um, I'm not saying it nearly as well as when I read it. I need to reread that chapter maybe about 3 or 4 more times in the next 10 minutes, but I'm not going to. we Jonathan says, okay, if you're Jeremy, if you're interested in that book, just send me a PM later, in case I forget. We're limitless beings who's been conditioned to go only so far, and those who go beyond are called crazy. That is absolutely right. I'm so grateful we connect, Jonathan. It's how we feel work. Amber says, discernful feelings are incredible, an incredible guide. Yes, absolutely. How you feeling it?
I'm, I'm like, I don't know, you can help from me. My
Okay,
mind's just a little blank, so I'm tired.
I'm gonna start this off. So Valerie was always this like she's just she's always had my attention. Um Man, I remember like she was in my mom's Bible school class. Like I remember my mom's really creative, like amazingly creative. Um and she always had the coolest things, like art project type deal, like craft things. And she my mom did. And I just remember going downstairs in the church and like I don't know, it's one of my favorite memories, I guess, because you know how you lose your memory, but I just remember you down there, like they've been working on some, I don't know, just random thoughts, but like
I'm sure you probably could have heard me throughout the church.
I never realized, you know, we only see what's on the outside, we only see what's presented to us. And I never knew, I guess you could say the horror, the trauma. I mean, I've known you in a long time, and maybe as really adults, at one time, I could, I could see, I got some glimpse of your experience, maybe, and just fathomed that there was some darkness there, I guess. But
Might have got a hint of it.
I never, I don't even, I've connected with people lately, and just man, I've never, we don't see the pain, we don't see the hurt, like you don't see the hurt in others. It's not easy. Like we don't want to show our hurt, we want to be strong, like big and bad, like we don't want to look weak. We don't want to look vulnerable.
The crazy part though is that like being conditioned so young to actually learn to already start to wear masks. But that's the part that like most people couldn't understand is that on the outside I looked like an outgoing, crazy, loud kid, and on the inside I was screaming. But it's I mean, as little kids, you can already learn how to wear masks. If you go through a traumatic experience, then you already, you can already figure out how to how it's a coping mechanism. So, and I was the loud kid, and he was the kid that said nothing.
it's funny how we when we do these videos, it's like it's been like the opposite because I've been trying to get Valerie to join me on videos and to open up and to share. Um, it's amazing to know to learn about each other's story and to find out I mean, and even find out the details of your own story that you didn't know, like the things that were like the behind the scenes look at things like and to realize like, wow, that experience wasn't what I thought it was. To look back and like I mean, for me it was this, but from another perspective it was totally different, And I don't know, it's just I'm very happy where I'm at myself right now and to be able to recognize um our perception creates our reality. Um, Asking It Is Given, man, that book lines it out. It really does. I can't explain it any better. But Valerie,
Uh, Jason. This is kind of it's a strange role reversal. I mean, I'm normally the one that doesn't shut up, and live, you have like paved the way smoothly. You make it look effortless. And I'm still plus I'm suffering from lack of sleep. I actually slept none, so my mind is a little fuzzy this evening, so you will have to bear with me.
learning to understand and accept each other is challenging. You know, if humanity was good at it, this would be heaven. This would be heaven to everyone. And if humanity was bad at it, this would be hell. It would be hell to everyone. And we're here to experience love and share love. And that's how we grow. That's how we heal. That's how we heal our wounds. We've got wounds from the past and we don't want to multiply them. The Tower of Babel's been broken, you know? It was it was man-made, you know? But we connect in spirit. We connect and all we have to do is just learn to accept each other and recognize that we're the same. Tell me about tell me a little about your childhood experience. What do you
Where do you want to start?
tell me would you mind sharing with roughly, vaguely, however you're comfortable with how you ended up
Mm,
living in Purdon?
oh, wow. Um, I guess I can go through. I will give a rough draft on how I came to live in Britain. Kind of did a little bit yesterday. Bad abusive household. My mom was an alcoholic, and so yet I got left home with the stepdad, and I went through about 7, 8 years of sexual abuse. So state ended up taking me, and I was deprogrammed for 90 days to fix what they would call the issues within, and then I was sent to live with my grandmother, and to solidify uh, the the improvement of life is pretty much what that was, and they thought that it would fix all problems. I ended up going through, I think, about 9 counselors. I actually had one quit, told me that there was no hope for me, and that I needed to stop psychoanalyzing everybody. And um, all the all the deprogramming did was teach me how to create better masks and to hide myself better and to make it to where I looked like the perfectly happy teenager on the outside, which I did. Because then after that, it was cheerleading, basketball, track, dance, mm, anything that could be done, I did. And I was absolutely miserable within myself. So
How do you feel how do you feel about it today? How do you feel now?
I there's no blame. I place no blame on anybody. I have, like I said, I have a wonderful relationship with my mother. She is actually sick, and I'm trying to help her get through that. The perpetrator, I have forgiven him and forgiven myself completely. Um, no one, I don't know the hell that goes on behind other people's, their mask inside of someone else. And I will blame nobody else at all for anything. I mean, what I went through made me who I am today, so I will accept it and move on. The thing is that I wish at the time that I would have ran into somebody like me now. It would have made it to where I didn't have to keep going through because once you are in that cycle, it keeps repeating itself and repeating itself. I ended up having my first child when I was 17. I still graduated, went to college. Um, but then, like, extremely right after, I ended up with I'm my youngest two. I ended up with their dad, and I kept the pattern going. 4 years, about 3, 4 years of intense abuse, and then there was another one that followed that, and I had to finally be abused more than I was abusing myself before I'd step away. And that is what the issue was, is that I was abusing myself so bad that I wasn't seeing the intense level of abuse. I hadn't had enough. And I didn't love myself. I didn't even know how to love myself. Um, you're not, that's something that, I wasn't given first lessons on. So that came way later. But self love was pretty much unheard of. Uh, I can remember many times, who would even love me in the first place. I was broken. I couldn't be fixed.
I if you don't mind, I'd like to
No,
speak for a
please.
minute. Oh,
I need a drink.
dude, I got a water
I
here.
have one.
Okay. Um, I'm pretty open to communicating with
Mhm.
people, on all levels. I mean, I feel like I speak English fairly well and can communicate with people who are in a higher level of leadership at times. But I also um, maybe I lack the language skills to
Mhm.
communicate with some people with more of an, I guess, like the city slang and stuff. I don't use a lot of slang in my speak, but um, I connect with everyone. I feel acceptance for everyone, and um, I gotta say, like I love your mom,
Yeah.
you know? Her mom is very sweet, and I mean, this is, the way I would and I don't know her that well, but she's a very sweet and gentle being. Um, timid maybe or I mean, I don't know. But I
Very much on the shy type most of the time until she's drunk.
and I imagine her right now, um, can you imagine trying to like accept yourself? Like,
And I mean, she's going through hell right now too. I mean, she has cancer and liver failure, and I mean, so on top of everything else inside of her, she's also fighting, this disease. And it is my job through love to love her unconditionally and to support her and to lift her up and to, let her know how amazing and beautiful she is. And it's the simplest thing I can do. Comes naturally.
we've all like the thing is we've all done things that are hard to accept about ourselves, you know? I can look back and man, I mean, I could tell you how I'm a piece of shit. I could tell you I could tell you how I am, but it's not how I am now. When I look back, it's not how I am now. Not we don't all learn lessons easy. Like we all learn different lessons. Some of us gain some understanding, of different things than others and lack understanding in other areas. You come into this world and you're given some genetic code that maybe predetermines some of that. You inherit this, before you even come out and are exposed to the real world, you inherit this. I mean, I'm sure it's just the language we've written over generation, passed down and passed down and passed down. Like all, it's it can contain flaws, and it can contain. I mean, it writes who we are, what we are in this physical existence. Yet, then we receive programming from all our encounters from birth on, even before birth, pre-birth. You're interacted with, and that can be violent or that can be calm. You know, even before you're out in the world, you can have it rough before birth. Could be a rough experience. We don't we don't recognize that, but we're so quick to judge somebody, but we don't know what they've been through. I feel like we're all cockeyed, aren't we?
Yeah, it's okay though.
See if I can straighten
We're
this
always a little
up.
clarified.
um, we don't know another's experience. We don't know what code they have written in them. We don't know their perception. You know, to think that some babies are actually physically abused before they're even born.
My children were.
We don't know what anybody has been through. So I don't know if that's on topic, I guess.
It is on topic, and it still leads back into other things too. Just like what I went through, it's what mom's facing too. And strangely enough, it's part of the four agreements. You will accept abuse until it is above what you are abusing, the level that you are abusing yourself. And I mean, my mom is in a state to where she accepts abuse at all times. I mean, my stepfather that I have now is not very good to her, and she can't. she won't break the cycle because the abuse that's going on that she's giving herself is way stronger than anything anybody could give her. And it is, my job as Valerie to just give her all the love that I can. She needs me. She needs her family, and she just needs love and support. And I don't. And I've explained to her too that I don't blame her. I love her unconditionally. That there's nothing to forgive. It's all in the past. It's done. And that she needs to work on forgiveness within herself because until she does so, she's not going to heal.
If
Mm,
you all don't mind, I thought it would be maybe nice to go ahead and read the summaries. Like I don't think I actually read on the four agreements.
no good.
Um, it's just so fitting, and I'm gonna sit here where I'm more comfortable, and I'm gonna read.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna read a little more in depth about the four agreements because I feel it truly. The four agreements are
Excuse me. Sorry.
basically everything that we experience in this matrix of life is experienced based upon agreement. Um, we agree to certain things, and these four agreements, I think, are the key or a very, they unlock a lot of what love is. Be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Um, we've shared, and I think what I'm finding, and I think you would agree with me on like, and this isn't really about being impeccable with your word, but I think it's about it correlates to this is that um, you said something earlier about if you'd had if you had the you now to interact with the you then,
Yeah.
that's so right. Like we all
Mm,
have different experience and it's hard to understand another's. But if we can connect with somebody that's already been through it and they can be like our guide. They can help us overcome and help us see the light. That's all we're doing. We're just here to help each other see the light, help each other feel the love from within them and feel strong enough to
inspire.
exactly.
We are here to inspire and to show the acceptance.
So the second one from this book, again, this is the four agreements, is don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. What you are immune When you are immune to the opinion and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. This is so true. And the thing is, like, we come here and we're speaking of shared experiences. We're speaking of experiences that involve other people, and we're giving one perspective, two perspectives of that, and we're only giving our perspective. There's no need to judge anybody in the stories that we share of our lives. There's no need to judge any of the other characters. Our own story is the only one we need to worry about. We have to help others see love. That's all we're doing. We have to accept love. We have to share love. That's all it's about. To find heaven, to experience heaven. Oh, there's all kinds of comments.
Uh-huh.
I guess you have to let me know this. Let me catch up here. My thing stopped scrolling, so um, let's see where I'm at. Wow, I'm sorry, guys. Ah, wow, there's a lot here. Okay. I thought, wow, this room got quiet.
And I'm looking at the comments and not even thinking about telling him, "Hey, there's company."
So we only see things at value. Great, absolutely awesome. I can relate, Valerie. Vulnerability is strength. Wipe that smirk off your face, Jason. Thanks, Jeremy. It's a beautiful place. That's why I said it's admirable what you do. It's just a reflection. We're just reflecting experience back to each other. That's all we're doing. You've got to read. You've got to. I did the intro to this book, and it explains that it explains it. It's I'm telling you, it's the best explanation. Um, Ask and it shall be given you. Definition: a teaching of Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount. He continues, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. You are absolutely right, Helen. Absolutely right. Um, Beautiful teaching. It's so true. And we just, everything is right in front of us, but we can't always see it. There are so many sources of love out there. That's what the Bible is. It's a book about love and how love sent love. Here, he sacrificed his love for us to experience love so we could know love, so we could know what love is. And when we accept love into our heart, we accept our infinite existence, our everlasting life that we are experiencing. We're accepting the, the beauty of the Creator into our heart and recognizing all the creative creative power He's bestowed upon us and how much responsibility or how much, however you want to say it, how much beauty He has given us. Like we have the desire, we have passion inside of us, and we have the ability to exercise our passion and to just make the best of life. Sleep deprivation is a killer, Valley. I totally agree, Helen. Pardon. There's a Native American saying, religion is for those afraid to go to hell. Spirituality is for those who's been there. I come from an alcoholic family, both sides. Sending you so much love. Thank you, Jody. Again, you're speaking my story. Um, let's see. Been there, felt that. What language is this, anybody? I don't remember what that was regarding, but
The language of what?
the language of love. Sorry, there's always a smartass in every crowd. I figured I'd be that guy. Thank you, Jeremy. We appreciate your insight. Jonathan says, pure love, understanding, and compassion. Um, we are like we are here to spread compassion, understanding, love, and trust. Compassion, understanding, love, and trust. CULT. We are here for our cult. Compassion, understanding, love, and trust. That's what we're here for. We are here to share that experience with you and our understanding of it. So sorry to hear about your mom. Sending her my prayers. Thank you, Amanda. We are so grateful. Yes, exactly. Compassion takes no sides. There was this time in space camp I was touched.
Okay.
Hi, love and light. Thank you, Christy. Hi, Jan. Hi, Ian. Oh, this thing popped up on me. Hold on. Gossip is a form of violence to bring others down. Well put, Jonathan. I'm so grateful for your insight. Um, Sorry, I'm way behind on comments.
You are too.
What you have just said, I've read in the books. I have same message, just worded differently. Um, Jonathan, make sure I find out what book that is. Yeah, you mentioned I see so many, and I like I got to finish some of the ones I have before I can buy more. Love is not a religion. The Bible is in my heart, a love letter. Exactly. Gasp.
Jacqueline wants to know if you can say the quote again about spirituality.
What was that? Can you uh can you tell me what it was regarding? I don't know. So many comments.
Yeah.
While I wait for that, just let me know what it is you're looking for. I'll go ahead and read number 3. Don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. This is important, guys. Are you listening? With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. So, this is legit, real deal. With this one agreement, you can transform your life. Absolutely. Every one of these agreements is life-changing. Don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. What you really want. Express what you really want and ask questions. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. Oh, misunderstandings create lack of communication. Lack of clear communication creates misunderstanding, sadness, and drama. And we all speak a different language of love, and our communication's been broken down. That's all it is. That's all it is. Has she commented yet?
Yeah, it's the Native American thing that Jonathan sent. She wanted to know
Going
if you
through
could,
hell.
yeah.
All right, let me see if I can find it real quick. um, Jonathan, if you want to retype that, I don't.
Right there.
Oh, there it is. There's a Native American saying, religion is for those afraid to go to hell. Spirituality is for those who's been there. We get so much insight from the indigenous people. Wow, I said that word right. Like that's a I always struggle to say indigenous. Um, the indigenous peoples have, I think, a pure language, and that our code's been rewritten. I think I think our language is a big issue. If I read always do your best, so always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. You have a tough time with that some days, huh?
On occasion.
It's hard to it's hard to not be able to do as good as you think you should be able to do because you see the past. Or it's hard to think that you can't do good because you didn't do good in the past. You're going your best is going to change from moment to moment. You can't beat yourself up over it, okay? It's going to be different when you're healthy. It's going to be different when you're alert. It's going to be different when you feel good, okay? Don't beat yourself up. Under any circumstance, simply do your best, and you will avoid self judgment, self abuse, and regret. Be aware of the present moment. All right, so she says, any advice on if you don't know what you want with others in life, with asking for something for yourself, a dream? Any advice on if you don't know what you want with others in life? Are you asking either one of us? Do you have any thoughts on that? You know, here's my take on that because I struggle with that sometimes. Yeah, actually, I think I can't figure out if my purpose for in my life is written inside of me, like if it's something internally that I know already, or if it's something that I create. Um, it's hard to tell the difference, I think. But I don't know. I feel like we all have different gifts, and there's
Excuse me.
there's actually there's interpreters of different things. We're all given different gifts, and I feel like maybe perhaps I've been given a gift of the ability to understand the language of love more broadly, like more to be able to perceive it and comprehend it from different sources. And that I've always had this desire to do exactly what I'm doing right now, to just to be able to talk and be myself. And it's like I think a part of me thought it would never happen, I guess, and a part of me just realized it's happening. Like all my whole life, I've thought one day I'll get there, and now it's like, you know what? Like nothing else matters. Like this is what I'm here to do. The survival part of it. Why worry? Like I trust love. Like it's just choose love and have faith that it will provide. And in your heart what you want to do. Like you feel it. Like you feel it. And
I'm just smiling because I knew as a kid that, it would probably be a great thing for you.
I
I
spent
always
my
thought you should be a preacher.
I speak what I believe. I get comments about being a preacher, and I looked up the definition of preach a while back because
Prophet.
to preach it just means to speak what you believe. And when I looked up the definition, I was like, yeah, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm here to tell you what I believe. I'm here to just speak what I believe, and if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, great. I mean, if it triggers something in you, great. It was meant for you. Whatever you take out of it was the experience that was meant for you. Um, so her question was, any advice on if you don't know what you want with others in life, with asking for something for yourself, a dream? So my advice is trust love. Okay, and that you're like, how do you do that? You always have two options in every moment. You have the choice between fear or love. Fear is false evidence appearing real, and we can we can accept this false evidence that we feel like we're experiencing in the present moment that scares us, whether it's something actually from the past that we're seeing right now as if it's present, or it can come from like an anxiety of a fear of what might happen in the future. Those two things um, can manipulate us, and we have this fear of what if I don't find what I want to do? What if I don't find the others that I'm meant to connect with? Or that I should connect with. What if I'm alone? Whatever it is. Um, what if I don't do what I'm supposed to in life? What if I waste my life? What if I'm not happy with my life? What if, um, what if there's something I don't know. It's fear or love, and fear holds us back. Love says, you know what? It's all in front of you. If you don't see it, just trust, just have faith that it's there, and choose the most loving course of action you can. Love yourself. Find something you're passionate about. Take care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. You know, Nu- take in nutrients, good food, good energy. Take in, stimulate your brain, feed your mind, feed your spirit. Read material that inspires you. Choose your passion and read about it, learn about it.
Mine is first and foremost, do not doubt your journey. I mean,
Exactly.
you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Everything is perfect. And find what, I mean, as you're, going through the things that you feel passionate about, the book that he was reading earlier today, actually. Um, I mean, you need to, or I think it was actually the chapter that you read yesterday, but certain things are going to, when you think about them, they are going to make you feel like a little bit anxious and excited. And those are the things that you should, pursue and push towards, and don't doubt anything, because fear and doubt go hand in hand together. And that's what my problem is that I there's too much doubt, and I have to step outside of the doubt. So,
Yeah, love is here for us. Love put us here
mm,
in the exact experience we're in every moment. It's there to guide us, and um, the only thing that's I mean, we separate ourselves from the feeling of love from love itself, the creator love. We're the only thing that causes that separation. It's our ego. It's that fearful state. It's the fear that we have to take care of this physical body and this physical self that we have been taught that we need to do certain things to survive that aren't necessarily true. All we need to do is honestly, I feel certain that we just trust love provides. No matter what, we'll have what we need. But if we make our choices out of fear, we create our own suffering, and then sometimes we can't see what's right in front of us. Truly, everything we need is provided in the moment. We're never given more than we can handle, and love is there to guide us. Jeremy asked, "What if one of your fears happens to be love?" Well, then your fear is false evidence. You don't know what love is, and what appears to be real to you is not what you think, because love heals all. Love is blissful. You're gonna feel good, man. You're gonna feel great when you find the love in yourself. But when you're at a fearful state, feeling like you're not good enough, you're and it's subconscious, it's subliminal. We don't recognize it. Um, we don't know what we're doing to ourselves sometimes. But when we know love, there's no question. The better we know love, the more affirmed we are, the more confident we are in that love is going to provide, and we don't fear love. There's nothing to fear. It's That's false evidence appearing real. Love does not hurt. Love does not cause pain. Love is not judgmental. A loving creator would not put you here to be judged, would not put you here to be to suffer. A loving creator put you here to experience love and to learn what love is. Once I sense it slams the door on it like I'm one of the guests. What about regular cannabis use? Does this get in the way of spiritual path? Been using the last couple of years as I've been healing from bad relationships, but wonder if I'm losing my joy because of it, if I'm still just healing. I think every one of us is unique. And I don't think one can give an answer for any other than oneself. Um, Somewhere along my journey, I learned that the questions that we have, the answers are within. And every moment is a new moment. So, what might grow your spiritual um, journey, what may help you down your spiritual journey at one moment, may not help you in another moment, and vice versa. It's unique to the moment. I feel it can depend. It can depend on your state of being, your your experience with it, and I mean, there's so many variables. I mean, everybody's chemistry, everybody's body is different. It's unique, and what does one thing for one person doesn't do the same for another. In addition, there's so many strains of marijuana, cannabis, all that, like so many different ways to use it. I mean, and there's so much so much false information, and there's so much different information on it. Like, trust love, you know? Trust love to guide you. Choose love. If your decisions are fear-based, um, put the fear aside and do what you feel is best for you in every moment. And if you feel the best decision is to use cannabis in a moment, then use it. If you feel that's the most loving thing, then do it. If you feel that it's out of fear of, whatever it is, if you feel like it's out of fear of something you'll have to deal with, something like if you're having a hard time feeling good about yourself and you have to use something to make yourself feel good about yourself, then that is a fearful state. That's not wanting to face yourself. It all depends on how it works for you.
And then Jeremy's got another comment too.
A rut that I'm in, but I'm realistically okay with it. I'm fine how life is. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's the
Yes.
next one.
Thank you guys. Fear is the absence of love. I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm not good enough. I just, in reality, don't want it or have a feeling I need it. Not being weird or anything, just saying. What were we talking about? Let me go back.
Love. That's
Oh, love.
not wanting love or, afraid of love.
Yeah, I mean, I think our understanding of love is different. To me, it's just it's being able to connect with your authentic self. It's being able to be true to what you know inside of you. And we've all found ourselves in situations where we were out of alignment, where we deceived ourselves, because truly nobody can deceive you. We only deceive ourselves. Um, we want to put the blame on someone else. I mean, that's the whole, like, that's where it all starts. Like, when you start to understand the Bible, I think, in a allegorical contents, like the fact that the believing a lie, it's something it starts within us. If we can look within us and find it that we deceive ourselves, um, if we, I don't know if I'm answering your question or not, but
And we don't think you're weird. I mean, that's a judgment, and we don't make judgments. We are weird. So it's, I mean, you're at least looking within yourself, and that is the first step is that you are actually, thinking about, I mean, you're thinking about it, and love has the biggest misconception, I do believe. And we have been given so many different sets of definitions for it that at times I think scare people away from it.
yeah,
It's our programming.
we've been mistaught. Um, I had something else I was going to say on that, but I forgot it, so I'll just go on, I guess.
Sorry,
No, no,
I
no.
keep on
You
interrupting.
weren't interrupting. No, you provoked the thought.
Oh,
It was something off of what you said, but I don't remember now. So I just have so much to give, and sometimes I just feel like I keep going in circles. I know love, joy is the way. I released all the blocks that may be so I can, you know, Jacqueline. I would suggest feeding yourself some good material. Four Agreements would be one. Ask and it is given. Those two books um, sound like they would be very, very beneficial to you right now. The Mastery of Love. If you're struggling to experience love, and I'm not saying that's your situation. I'm just saying the Mastery of Love is a great book too.
Self love daily. It's a must.
Course in Miracles too. Course in Miracles will help erase programming, and that's a lot of. I think we see the past, and it helps us to learn to let go. It's definitely a Course in
Yes.
Miracles. Oh, and I know love joy is the way. I release all the blocks that may be so I can receive and give back. Um, we also tend to perceive from ego sometimes, and we don't recognize when we're in ego or when we're in spirit, I guess, when
Very
we're in love.
deceptive on
Yeah.
occasion.
If we're in ego, we're not going to admit it. Um, and I think at times we think we have healed completely. We think we have let go of the past. We think we've let go of blocks.
And then it creeps right back in and smacks you in the face.
Yeah, pot does not for myself. It helps me to quiet my mind, focus, and look within. Exactly, Jason. Pot can be used as a crutch to help us feel or connect with others. I knew you think I'm weird, such cult Kool-Aid. I just can't. You're both saying what I'd be saying. How dare you interrupt preacher
I
Jason?
know, I interrupted you. I seen that and I'm like, really? But I interrupted in a loving manner, so it is perceived in a loving way.
If you're perceiving negative judgment,
It's
you're,
because you're afraid of love.
you're perceiving the reflection of yourself, and um, yeah, it's we're just a reflection. We're all just a reflection.
Like Jonathan said, Jeremy, love and light. And that's, you're not going to be comfortable, Jeremy, until you find what fits with you, until you surrender completely and let yourself go to love. You're not going to have it's, you just got to surrender.
Well, questions have there's no questions right now. Maybe we could kind of regroup and do you feel like sharing any
Yeah.
more? I mean, I have
Uh, if you want to talk, that is great. It's my mind tonight. I had a little bit more planned, but I am suffering from sleep deprivation, so it's making my mind a little fuzzy.
um, do you want to be off camera or you?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. Uh, all right. Well, she's waving bye to you, so.
I'm gonna let preacher Jason,
I don't. I'm the
capably
hippie guru. I prefer
capably
this.
take the floor. I mean,
I'm more accepting of the term the hippie guru.
didn't I give you that term too?
I think
I
so.
think so.
And
It perfectly
if you
fit.
feel like covering for like at one point for like a 1 minute break, that might be
That's what I'm
appreciated.
gonna do. Is 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So whenever I get back, then I will break you
All right. I'm so truly like I have the time of my life coming on here and interacting and sharing and opening up, and it's just um gaining gaining an understanding of myself within and just sharing myself openly. So um blessed to be able to connect with each other and learn from each other. We're all students and teachers at the same time. And let me see here. Get some music going here. Get my flow back on. So, I hope you can still hear me okay. I want to touch on the truth in the moment, um, because every moment is a new moment. And what's true in one moment isn't always true in the next moment. The thing is, think of encounters where, you know, I actually, I learned a lot from, I learned a lot from my son. Um, when, when I, talked to him today when he got off school,
out.
he started sharing with me, and I thought, I, I love, I love the way he, shares with me, and like I grow so much from it, and I love that Well, I mean, he's receiving programming now. He's becoming programmed. I've programmed him. This school programs him. His family programs him. His friends program him. He's got he's received programming, and but he's not as programmed, And I love interacting with him, and I love actually I find so much value of it, and you can't capture that moment. So I try to sneak on some live footage of that at times, and you never know where it'll go. But the best moments are when he's not aware that if I can get him in a conversation and see where his intellect and his emotion leads him, and some days he's ruled by emotion, and some days he's ruled by intellect. Um, but he was sharing today about how the teacher got on to him, and hi Nisha, thank you for joining. He said that a kid had tripped over him, but he didn't trip this boy. It was accidental, and the teacher was really mean to him. And so I thought about that and how we create the experience. And I said, and I gave him an example. I tried to give him an example of how things aren't always what we perceive. And uh, I like that comment, by the way, Jeremy. Keep him open source. Anyways, he he was having a hard time staying focused on the conversation, but he felt like I think he understood that. And then I tried to explain to him that the thing is that's his perception. From his perception, she seemed mean, and he didn't feel he deserved what she brought to him. But he could choose a different perception because, however, it may be possible the teacher had tried to um, be mean to him, but it could also be possible that she's dealing with her own issues, that she's tired of the kids acting up and having problems, and like it's a stressful day. It's hard telling, it's hard telling what else she's dealt with. Um, and I'm sure she cares. I'm sure she knows love. We all do at some level, and I'm sure that she is trying to teach and inspire and grow these children to be the most beautiful beings that they can be. I'm sure that's what she wishes to create. We all have different understandings of how we do that, and I I doubt she had a malintent. I don't. I think negative judgment of anyone's bad, and so Levi perceived her as being mean, but that was a perception in the moment. And the moment he's had that experience, it's over. Like, but how he responds to it then, like, it's a new moment. And if we hold on to that past moment, she was being mean to me, and like, and we take that offense within us, we can turn around and snap back. I mean, a little kid might, you never know. I mean, even an adult, like, we're accused of something, or if someone projects something onto us that's not our experience, we're resistant to it. And then um, we become argumentative. I was not, or and then the next thing they know, that triggers them right back and go to the corner or go to the sit in the whatever they do, the safe seat. I mean, we can trigger back and forth. We but we create the experience in that next moment when we how we respond. It's whether truly what it was, whatever the experience was, is whatever we think it is. And when we determine that it's all love, and that it's the way she interacts with me has nothing to do with me, it has to do with her and her perception, then I accept it, and I can respect it, and I can kindly say, I I didn't. He did trip, but it wasn't my intent to trip him. That's big words for a kid, but um, we can explain calmly and kindly to someone when we don't accept their reality upon us, and we understand that what they're projecting is just their own experience, whether their experience is from emotion or from intellect Either way, it's their own experience, and we can respect that. And that in a new moment, when they perceive the new data that you provide to them, and when you speak the same language, if you're able to speak the same language, you would have the same understanding. But you don't. You speak different languages because you have differences. I want to put on my Micro Machines voice so I can cover a lot of things in a real quick time. Keep them open source, brother. I'm trying my hardest to make sure my son stays open minded about everything. Yeah, I want to keep that mix. I want him to have um, the feed from everything. I want him to know how to think on his own and how to clear his mind and just accept the experience. I hope that every being that I interact with, I create an environment conducive to their well-being and mine both, and that um, we are able to accept each other in ways that we co-create beautifully, and that we co-create our wildest dreams, and that we flourish together. Um, we're just I just want that interaction with every being. I want to create the environment for us to really connect. You able to cover?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
cover for you. You probably don't want to take the earphones either. You guys get me for a minute while he takes a break. He'll be right back. And at least Jason's, getting to touch base with his son at such a young age. I ended up raising my children, you know, whenever I was younger and still, had absolutely no clue who I was and didn't know what self love was yet. So now, as a parent of, adults or, of grown teenagers, I'm going back through and having to, re explain myself. And it gets pretty interesting. Uh, at times, it can be very touchy. And the nice part is that since I'm a grandparent, I get that option also. I mean, I get to work with the grandkids, so that makes it nice. But explaining to your grown daughter that you are completely in a different place can be extremely difficult. And I actually had my daughter. You'll have to excuse my French, but explain to me the other day that she was actually more comfortable with me being a bitch because she didn't know how to take me this way. And that stopped me in my tracks because I had become so void of emotion and so hid within myself that my children are now more comfortable with me being mean and just distant than they are with me being loving and open. So, I mean, it's never too late to inspire, but everybody's always watching, and like I said, it's scary. I think. I mean, I scare them and I freak them out, and that's not just them. I mean, they're to be called crazy is, I guess, pretty much the norm these days. But nothing wrong with crazy. And what are you doing, Jeremy? hold on. Let me get my a healing reading, Linda. Um, I actually don't do like healing readings. I my gift actually is touch. Um, I can feel different energy sources through that, and sometimes I can through speech, but I'm not very good at it yet. So I will not practice have not what I'm not comfortable with. If and Jeremy, be good. Um, I think Jason and Linda, Jeremy is just joking. He's actually our jester. We just keep him around for random jokes, and so please don't take any offense at all by anything he says. He means none. He actually means well. He's just a little harsh and has been since we were little kids. So he was always honoring. See, at least you're sorry. Sorry, not sorry. It's it was all perfect, and I mean somebody may have needed a laugh, and no harm, no foul. Are you ready for
I'm
your?
ready.
Okay,
We don't we don't say sorry really anymore.
sorry, not sorry.
Um, I mean, we can if we feel that it's useful, I suppose. But we've learned to be in the present moment, let go of the past, forgive ourselves. Nobody can truly hurt us. We hurt ourselves. So we don't really apologize to each other. Really, I mean, you can, but I don't.
Sorry,
I
not
don't feel you
sorry.
have anything to apologize to me for. So I just it's a new moment.
Everything is perfect. It's a new moment.
Oh, there it is. That's weird. Is that speaker acting up again?
We had someone come in thinking that I did that we did live reading.
Oh, if I would consider doing an I Ching reading, if somebody wanted to do that, but I don't. Um, I mean that's something I might consider doing, but don't know. I might think about that before I
And she
committed to
wanted
it.
a healing reading. And so, we may be able to give her advice to help heal without, doing a reading. And
Um, I'm curious if anybody's familiar with I Ching. I think it's fascinating, but I think we all connect with different things. I think, yeah, I feel like it's weird because around here, like locally, it's almost like, I mean, there's so many people that I know from church and that are have this understanding that certain things are wrong, and I don't like. I think you have to connect with that living word, love. The love, let love guide you, and that and every moment is unique to itself, and that love is written inside of us, and anything that is written is can be true in a moment depending on the circumstances. And I mean that's the thing. That's why there's so many contradictions. People talk about how many contradictions there are in the Bible. It's just an expression of love. I mean, it's all perfect. And if it creates um, disputes, what's the matter?
Jeremy wanted to read his chin.
That's funny.
I Ching.
Um, I don't even see the comments, so, um, I've lost my train of thought. Um, my mind's blank now. Oh, I know where I was. Okay, so I want to know if there's any interest. Seriously, I want to know if there's any interest in sharing, like, like if I did a video, um, and actually gave my understanding of the Bible, if anybody would be interested in that. I really, I would have some unique understandings, and I wonder if it would be of interest to anybody. Seriously, it would. I think I would enjoy it, and if anybody would care to listen, that would be great. Hi, Sharon. Welcome back. Just better read my. iChain. Eh, I don't. I'm not gonna mess with it right now,
PM for private IP.
but we can. I mean, we can do it, and it doesn't have to be private. It's up if you wanted to do it on video. I don't care, but I don't want to do it in this video. I'd listen. I think it would be. I think it would be fun. I think it would. I think it would be interesting to hear, to actually be able to hear other people's feedback, and to present my understanding, um, and to see how others respond to it, and to see what other perceptions others have, and to it kind of tests your solidarity. I feel like too often in my experience, I was told what to think. I was. It's like you're told, in my experience in churches, you're told that the Bible is, um, like the absolute, like like it won't fail you, and that it's solid truth through and through, and that you can always rely on it. Um, the answers are there. But then the church tells me things that don't agree with what I understand of my own reading. Yeah, I'm I know what you're saying. I'm reading on my own. This is my understanding right here. How how does your understanding, like, that doesn't make any sense? And it seems they don't like it when you question. I mean, in my experience, it's like they don't like it when you question. Don't question our authority. It was given to us by the head of our church, and this is what they say about. I mean, it's not, and everybody's different. I'm casting the label of my experience. I can tell you this. I can tell you that through it all, I learned what love is, through all of it. My entire experience, everything up until now, allowed me to learn what love is. I know love in my heart. I experienced love my whole life in different ways. And Jeremy, I think I would do that for you. Actually, I would consider doing that.
I think drag food was like
Yeah,
totally damn
you
on.
know, might give it a shot. Um,
I get a couple cool ones with it. I mean, drag food.
That could be. I know what I know what I want to do. I know exactly how. I believe we can make this happen, Jeremy. I really do, and I know exactly how. Yes, I think I could overcome my fear
That's right.
of doing something different in front of everybody.
Oh my gosh, you mean you might be weird like me?
Like, can you imagine? What if people didn't like it?
Who gives a shit?
I know.
Wonder if you like it. That's all that matters, isn't it?
Exactly.
And I didn't mean to be so blunt, but I mean, it's.
No, that's what I'm saying is
I mean, who cares? I mean,
the appointment.
I have neon hair and it changes colors, monthly. So dreads would be the bomb. No
Jeremy,
hair on.
I don't think Jeremy remembers me this way, he says.
Probably not.
The other day, I think he said that. I don't remember, or something. He asked me something. I was
I don't.
like, so I'm not the same person?
um, you're not the same creepy little kid that would stare at me in the back of the church pew. No, you're a little different. Absolutely beautiful kid, completely deep in thought, never spoke.
Can you guys hear the music? I'm just curious. This is Sat saying, everybody.
I'm pretty sure that Maddie's actually watched tutorials on doing dreads. I think she can do them. Ooh, live video girl.
I like Dirty Heads, I think. I don't know if I know the others. Man, I set my Pandora stations, and depends on what I'm doing, what I listen to. Um, anyways, you know, we got to share good stuff with each other. We got to share ourselves. We're good stuff. We we teach each other. We share with each other. We help each other find things we like. Like sharing sharing music and sharing together is just awesome. Like it's I like the randomness of like Pandora, not being able to um, select what comes on, just letting it play. You know, like all right. So sorry, music is life. I have music in my ears 24/7. Like I go to sleep with music in my ears. I actually I a lot of times I go to sleep listening to I mean who knows what. Like I music it's hard for me to sleep with music, but I can fall asleep listening to some Matt Kahn. Anybody ever listen to Matt Kahn? Matt Kahn is an amazing speaker. Like amazing. I should share some Matt Kahn. I could play some Matt Kahn right now. Let's pull up some Matt Kahn.
I think he keeps music in his ears technically so that way he can drown out me on occasion. If you're yapping too much.
I'm not going to tell you how to tell. There's a way you could tell. I get lost in myself. Okay, Matt Kahn. All right, stay tuned. I'm telling you, Matt Kahn is totally worth it. If you're pulling this up, um, Matt Kahn is awesome. And stay tuned. Just 1 second here. Oh, I'm going for 2 hours. That's that's uh that's the plan, Stan. What? We're 142 right now. We're close to 2 hours. That's the goal. 2 hours.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like 2 more hours. I was like,
Oh, I'm not pulling no Michael Petricus up in
oh
here.
my baby.
Michael Petricus is awesome. He'll go for 4 hours a night, every night, and it's
And he looks absolutely as perfect when he's done at hour 4 as he did when he started. And I'm like, there's no bathroom break.
yeah.
Mm,
He's got it together. Very in tune.
absolutely beautiful soul.
Very in tune to the frequency of love. Honestly, I'm not sure that I've met at this point. I can't recall anyone that has been more of in tune with love for so many moments of my interaction with them. Like I don't know that I've ever perceived him as anything but love. Like I mean, wow. Like he's very well attuned to that frequency. All right, so let's see. I'm trying to pick a good Matt Kahn video. Um, let's see. I can name these off. Let's see, because they're okay. So let's see what you guys think. If one catches your attention, let's see. The Alchemy of Transformation, Awakening True Happiness, Transforming the Darkness, Dissolving the Veil, The End of Inner Conflict, Soul Contracts, Twin Flames, and Soulmates, Everything is Here to Help You, The Pleiadian Prophecy, Reclaim Your Power, The Path of Courage, Raising Your Vibration, A Way Out of Pain, A Galactic Message, Finding Safety, Breath of Life, Love is the only answer. A message to all light workers.
Um,
Yeah.
Sharon and Ben both would like to know what the discussion is about. They are kind of lost right
Oh, okay.
now.
So we're kind of just wrapping up, winding down. The and really, I mean, it could go anywhere. I guess with a live video, we get to answering questions and things go um, in unforeseen ways. But our message is about love and um, just accepting love and accepting each other and recognizing love and life coach. um, so we just sharing a little bit of our personal experience and a little bit of our understanding and our perception of events and things, of experiences. And we've I mean, I think we've touched on um, we've shared some stories of abuse and
Touched on the four agreements.
we've touched on the four agreements. Yeah, the four agreements. I mean, this is an amazing book, The Four Agreements, um, by Don Miguel Ruiz, and it's life changing. It's life changing. I'll read the four agreements one more time. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. And what else? So, any suggestions on the MatCon? Nobody said anything, so I'm just going to pick one here. I saw one, caught my attention. Let's go with A Way Out of Pain. I haven't listened to that one. This is just, I mean, I don't think I'll play the whole thing just because it's like an hour and 22 minutes. But maybe give you a little taste of some MatCon. So I'm relatively new to them, and I've listened to quite a bit of them. So um,
So as I offer this transmission during this time of awakening, during this time of planetary ascension, it's very vital to offer you the teaching that I call A Way Out of Pain. And I want to start by saying that if you're in pain, it's okay. It's okay to be in pain. And I say that because sometimes we're on a spiritual journey, having learned a lot, having read a lot, having realized a lot, and it's not okay for us to be in pain. And we're looking for spirituality to guarantee a pain-free journey. Now, I can teach you how to be out of pain. I can. But it starts with the acknowledgement that if you're in pain, it is not wrong. It is no evidence, the less than reality. It is not proof of a lower vibrational frequency if you're in pain. We must release our judgments of what pain says about us. And spiritually speaking, it's very important that we don't use evidence of pain to judge ourselves as if we're not already the greatest miracle ever created by spirit. When you are in pain, it does not mean that you don't understand the big picture. When you're in pain, it does not mean you are resisting what is. When you are in pain, it doesn't mean you haven't learned lessons in the universe. Like you're some slacker student in the Angel Academy of Heaven, ditched a few classes and you have to hurry up and make up your credits. Yeah, I'm in pain, I ditched a few classes. That's not what pain is telling you. So if I can teach you what pain is telling you, it can free you of a lot of personal and spiritual judgments. Because one thing that won't help you get out of pain is by using pain to define yourself in a less than judgmental or inferior way.
Might invite if you haven't.
There is such
Invite
an emphasis
more
on the
people.
spiritual journey of being
Okay.
healed and pain free that if you're in pain, by default, there is usually a judgment of I'm not at the highest level of my spiritual evolution. And yet, what I'm going to say is that pain is the evidence of being knee deep in the highest, most progressive, most powerful spiritual evolution. Because pain is the physical body's acknowledgement of unexpected change in progress. Pain is how your body acknowledges unexpected change or transformation in progress. So it becomes very short-sighted and even completely misleading to say pain is a sign or a symptom or an indication that I am not at the highest possibility of my spiritual journey, where the pain is actually letting you know that the most advanced healing that you could experience is underway the moment pain is recognized. Does that make sense? Because if you think pain means you're at a smaller level, you're gonna then tell yourself that I'm not at the most optimal level of my spiritual reality until the pain goes away. And then you're judging the pain as an invader in your reality, and because there's still a judgment against pain, we're not learning from it, and so pain maintains its position because it cannot leave your field until you've learned what it's here to teach you. And it's not here to teach you because you haven't learned in the past, you were the slacker and you've got to learn all this stuff. See, the other judgment is about learning in the spiritual path. There's an unspoken judgment that says, when I'm in pain, I'm learning something, and I'm learning something because of a mistake I made in my past, and I'm like repenting for my unsavory behavior. When I was 5, I took an extra roll at Thanksgiving. My parents asked me if I took an extra roll. I said I didn't. When I totally did, and because of my sneaky Pillsbury roll caper at age 7, this is why I'm in pain 20 years later, repenting for my sins. See, that sounds silly if I say it, but how many of us are using that to define and justify how we feel about ourselves? Because it's one thing to say, I'm going to learn from the experiences of my life, right? It's a beautiful thing to say, look, I'm in this situation. I'm sure this is going to help me grow and evolve. Let me learn from this. Let me become better than I've ever been. But the judgment is when you say to yourself, if I'm learning from something, it's because of something I didn't learn before. And we make ourselves wrong for being in a position to grow and expand as never before. So what I want to resolve first is the judgment against learning. That I'm learning because of what I didn't learn before. That's not how learning occurs. You don't go to college and study like calculus, and you're only learning it because you didn't learn it in kindergarten. Unfortunately, on the spiritual path, sometimes when we have the pleasure of learning as an opportunity to become greater, more masterful than ever before, we don't honor it as a gift given for our evolution, but we turn it into this idea of judgment that says, I'm in pain and only having to learn because I'm judging myself as if I'm a spiritual dumb. Right? Yeah. 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 That's on video. Right. It's okay that we say it to ourselves, but I can't say it on YouTube. Come on. Right? People can put it in the comments on YouTube. So why not say it on YouTube? But you know what I'm saying, right? You walk around like as if learning from your life is this prison sentence. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm learning these lessons right now, and I'm sure it's because of all the crap I did when I was younger. That doesn't happen. What happens is it's more of like, okay, the pain I feel is evidence that I am on the most progressive spiritual awakening and journey of energetic expansion and transformation in existence. And when I am in pain, that is my growth and expansion, the growing pains of my vibrational field in progress. And as I'm in pain, growing energetically, the experience of my relationship with pain is also helping me learn by how progressively, slowly, or quickly I get onto the fact that as pain is helping me grow and expand, it's also helping me relinquish the judgments that I impose onto myself that say, when I'm in pain, it means I'm less than the divine perfection I've always been. So if you want to be out of pain, and when I say be out of pain, well, I'm not saying that there's never going to be something painful in your life. What I'm saying is that you have an opportunity to have a different relationship with pain so that you don't have to suffer when pain arrives in your life. It can surprise you, but it doesn't have to overwhelm you. And the first key is when you decide, when pain shows up, I will no longer think I've done anything wrong. First rule of pain, when pain shows up, I do not blame myself. I simply accept that it is evidence of my highest evolution already in progress. It may not be convenient, it may not be comfortable, because the inconvenience and discomfort is moving you out of your old paradigm. See, we know comfort based on the vibration we spend the most amount of time in, and when life is moving you out of that known comfortable paradigm into a new frontier, you go from where I'm used to feeling comfortable because I've spent most time there into something I don't understand and recognize. So by default, if it's not the comfort I remember, it must be uncomfortable by comparison. Does that make sense? It's not known, so it must be uncomfortable. And as you awaken, instead of it being it's not known, therefore it must be uncomfortable, it becomes it's not known, so it's going to be exciting. No one teaches you when pain arrives, welcome it with excitement. And there's something inside of you that when I say it goes, I can actually do that. I've never been taught to do that, but I can do that. You have the right to be excited when pain arrives, because the inconvenient nature of it, the discomfort of it, is because you're being moved into a brand new energy field, like a baby being birthed into the world and coming into a vibration or a dimension it doesn't know. And we judge the pain because in the subconscious mind of humanity, there is a belief that pain is in the way of pleasure. And so we think, I'm going to imagine pleasure as somewhere absent of pain, and then I'm going to judge pain as the barrier in the way of my pleasure. Does that sound familiar? Right? We say to ourselves, if I wasn't feeling this way, here's all the things I do with my life. Right? I do all these things in my life, but this pain's in the way, preventing me. And some of us are in so much pain that really it's debilitating. But when pain is debilitating, you have been thrust into the epicenter of one of the most intense spiritual inquiries. And the inquiry is, you can't control the pain you're in. You can't negotiate with the pain you feel. You cannot make it more convenient. You cannot make it more comfortable. But you can strip away every judgment you have against pain, every superstitious belief that it's something other than the light of divinity, acknowledging and embracing it as what is here to transform and escort you into your next highest level of consciousness. And with excitement in your heart, say, I don't know what it's here to take from me. I don't know where it's guiding me, but it could only be the next highest level of my evolution, because energy expands and goes up and never goes down.
Okay, I'm gonna stop this here. We've reached our 2-hour mark. We've gone beyond. Matt Kahn, what did you guys think? Little 15 minutes of Matt Kahn's talking there. Does he catch your attention? Have you heard of him before? Any feedback? I'm just curious before I wrap this up. Just find out what you all thought of him. You may have already been exposed to him. Mixed feelings about him. Okay. Very good. Very good. Why do you have mixed feelings, Jeremy? Sure. No 8-hour stream. Somebody was said they were unsure how they felt about him earlier. I really would like to hear, people who have. I mean, I haven't really come across anything in Matt Kahn that I couldn't take in. That I felt I had to reject. I don't think I've listened to anything I couldn't accept. So I'm curious if anybody, I don't know that one. Somebody had said earlier. I don't even know if it. I don't know who it was, but somebody had said something about unsure about Matt Kahn, but Jenny Sue, that's who it was. All right, so just some things felt sincere, some sounded scripted. Well, so as this just goes to show, I mean, does it matter if it's? I mean, everything becomes scripted after a while. You say the same thing over and over again, it does become scripted, and some of it seems sincere. So yeah, I mean, it's just different ways of understanding them. I guess different ways of perceiving them. We're all like that. I mean, I think that truly just shows that we see reflections of ourselves. Like we see we're we're judging what we perceive to match with um, you know how we align with stuff is just a reflection of ourselves. Nobody else has anything else to say, I guess. It's it's been a fun evening. Um, so grateful to have had this time with you all, and um, I think I know a direction for a series of videos that I'm going to be doing. So um, I'm looking forward to working on that. Thanks for tuning in. And like when he was relaxed, it seemed legit, but the times I I got you. I imagine I'm like that sometimes. Nah, never. Do you want to say bye? Sure.
I'm over here freezing.
All right. Well, we're going to hop off here, and you all have a good night. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. Peace. Namaste.